The year is 1492. Imagine a world without the Americas. This was the world Christopher Columbus knew. He was about to change the course of history. On August 3rd, Columbus set sail from Palos de la Frontera in Spain. His 3 ships, the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria, cut through the waves. Their mission to find a westward route to the East Indies. This was a journey into the unknown. The vast Atlantic Ocean stretched before them, full of mystery and danger. Many believed the world was flat. They feared Columbus's ships would sail off the edge, but Columbus was determined to prove them wrong. He carried with him the hopes of Spain and the dreams of a new world. His voyage would forever alter our understanding of the planet. It would bridge continents and cultures for better or for worse. Christopher Columbus was born in Genoa, Italy, in 1451. The sea held a special allure for young Christopher. He grew up listening to tales of seafaring and adventure. These stories sparked a desire in him to explore the vast unknown. As a teenager, he joined his father's wool trading business. This allowed him to travel the Mediterranean Sea, fueling his passion for exploration. He learned the art of navigation and seamanship. He studied maps and charts, dreaming of distant lands. Columbus's fascination with the sea extended beyond mere adventure. He was driven by a thirst for knowledge and a desire to expand the horizons of the known world. He devoured books about Marco Polo's travels to the Orient. He was captivated by tales of spices, silks, and gold. He became convinced that a shorter, westward route to the East Indies existed. Little did he know his pursuit of this dream would lead him to a discovery that would change the world forever. Columbus's idea to sail west to reach the east was radical for his time. Most scholars and navigators believed the Earth was much larger than Columbus calculated. They argued his proposed journey was impossible. Undeterred, Columbus spent years seeking patronage for his expedition. He first presented his plan to King John II of Portugal. The Portuguese court, however, rejected his proposal. They deemed it too risky and impractical. Columbus refused to give up on his dream. He took his proposal to the Spanish monarchs King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella. After years of appeals and negotiations, his persistence paid off. Queen Isabella saw potential in Columbus's ambitious plan. She agreed to finance his expedition in 1492. This decision would have far-reaching consequences, marking the beginning of Spain's rise as a global power. It would also set in motion a chain of events that would forever alter the course of human history. The journey across the Atlantic was fraught with challenges. The ships were small and cramped, offering little comfort to the crew. Food and water were limited. The vastness of the ocean and the uncertainty of their destination tested the sailors' resolve. Fear and doubt crept into their minds. They questioned whether they would ever see land again. Despite the hardships, Columbus remained steadfast in his belief that they would reach the Indies. He carefully studied the stars and the winds. He kept detailed records of their progress in his journal. To keep the crew's spirits up, he shared his unwavering optimism and promised them riches and glory in the East. He cleverly downplayed the distance they had traveled each day, hoping to prevent panic among the crew. Section 5. Land ahoy! A new world emerges. After weeks at sea, with tensions rising and hope dwindling, a glimmer of hope appeared on the horizon. On October 12, 1492, a lookout on the Pinta spotted land. "Tierra! Tierra!" he shouted, his voice filled with relief and excitement. The crew erupted in celebration. Their long and arduous journey had finally come to an end. They had reached land. The ships dropped anchor off a small island in the Bahamas. Columbus named the island San Salvador, claiming it for Spain. He believed he had reached the East Indies, unaware that he had stumbled upon a vast new continent. This new world, as it would come to be known, held untold wonders and riches. It would also become the stage for a clash of cultures and a pivotal chapter in human history. Section 6. First Encounters, a Clash of Cultures. Columbus encountered the indigenous people of the Caribbean with a mixture of curiosity and arrogance. He called them Indians, believing he had reached the Indies. He described them in his journals as gentle, peaceful people. He was impressed by their generosity and willingness to share their resources. However, Columbus's European perspective prevented him from fully understanding the complex societies he encountered. He viewed the indigenous people through the lens of his own culture. He saw them as potential subjects of the Spanish crown and a source of labor for his colonial ambitions. This encounter marked the beginning of a tragic chapter in history. It laid the groundwork for centuries of colonization, exploitation, and cultural misunderstanding. Section 7. The Price of Paradise, Exploitation, and Conquest. Columbus's arrival in the Americas had a devastating impact on the indigenous populations. The Spanish, driven by greed and a sense of superiority, began claiming land and resources that were not theirs to take. They exploited the Taino people, forcing them into labor on plantations and in mines. The Taino, unaccustomed to the harsh conditions and susceptible to European diseases, experienced a catastrophic decline in population. The quest for gold and spices, the very things that had motivated Columbus's journey, fueled the exploitation of the New World. The Spanish conquistadors who followed in Columbus's footsteps were ruthless in their pursuit of wealth and power. They enslaved indigenous populations, decimated their cultures, and left a trail of destruction in their wake. Columbus's discovery unleashed a wave of colonialism that would forever alter the demographics and destiny of the Americas. Section 8. Charting the Caribbean, Further Explorations. Columbus made 3 more voyages to the Americas between 1493 and 1504. He explored more islands in the Caribbean, including Hispaniola, present-day Haiti, and the Dominican Republic, Cuba, and Jamaica. He established settlements and forts, laying the foundation for Spanish colonization. With each voyage, his belief that he had reached Asia wavered. He encountered evidence that contradicted his initial assumptions. He observed plants and animals that were completely unknown in Europe. He encountered indigenous people who spoke languages he had never heard before. Despite these signs, Columbus clung to his belief that he was in the East Indies. He even forced his crew to sign an oath affirming their belief that they had reached Asia. This denial of reality reflected his unwavering conviction and his desire to fulfill his promise to the Spanish crown. Section 9. The Seeds of Empires Establishing Spanish Dominance. Columbus's voyages marked the beginning of the Spanish Empire's dominance in the Americas. The wealth extracted from the New World, particularly the gold and silver mines of South America, transformed Spain into a global power. The Spanish established a vast colonial network, stretching from Mexico to the southern tip of South America. The consequences of Spanish colonization were profound and long-lasting. The introduction of new crops and livestock to the Americas had a significant impact on agriculture and diet. The exchange of goods, ideas, and diseases between the Old World and the New World, known as the Columbian Exchange, had a transformative effect on both hemispheres. However, the legacy of Spanish colonialism is a complex one, marked by both progress and exploitation. Section 10. A Controversial Legacy, Hero or Villain. Christopher Columbus's legacy is complex and contested. For centuries, he was hailed as a hero, a visionary explorer who discovered the Americas and opened up the New World to European exploration and settlement. Statues were erected in his honor. His name adorned cities, streets, and institutions across the globe. However, in recent decades, there has been a growing movement to reassess Columbus's legacy in light of the devastating impact his voyages had on indigenous populations. Critics argue that celebrating Columbus as a hero ignores the violence, exploitation, and cultural destruction that followed his arrival in the Americas. They point to the forced labor, disease, and genocide that decimated indigenous communities. They argue that his voyages marked the beginning of a long and brutal period of colonialism. Section 11. Columbus's enduring impact shaping the modern world. Despite the controversy surrounding his legacy, there is no denying the profound impact Christopher Columbus's voyages had on shaping the modern world. His discovery of the Americas forever changed our understanding of geography and our place in the world. It ushered in a new era of exploration, colonization, and global trade. The Columbian Exchange, the transfer of plants, animals, diseases, and ideas between the Old World and the New World had far-reaching consequences. It transformed diets, revolutionized agriculture, and contributed to the rise of global empires. Columbus's voyages continue to fascinate and inspire us today. They remind us of the power of human curiosity, the allure of the unknown, and the importance of understanding the complexities of history. They also serve as a cautionary tale about the importance of cultural sensitivity, the dangers of unchecked ambition, and the enduring legacy of colonialism.